Good morning, everyone. Pastor Chuck Blair here. Great to have you joining us this morning here at New Church Live, and we're doing things a little bit differently today. We're actually streaming on a number of different sites as the world just keeps on moving on, and today we're moving on to a new way of trying to stream, and hopefully you're getting this whether you're on Facebook or live stream or on YouTube or my Facebook page, where we're just trying to figure out ways to be easier and easier for people to find and enjoy this wonderful little community we have going. So this morning, what I want to talk about is we're continuing on with the Gospel of John. And those who haven't joined us before, this is a group that actually started during COVID. And in that COVID start that we had, the whole point of this group was just to gather once a morning from 8:30 till about 8:40, 8:45, get together, read just a little bit of scripture, small reflection, and then we have a little prayer and a blessing, and then we say hi to people on Facebook. So we'll only be checking the Facebook comment thread, so you can leave a comment there on Facebook if you'd like, and I'll be responding to that at the end of the service here today. So with that, folks, let's go ahead and get started. And what we're looking at today is part of the Gospel of John. And we talked about this yesterday in terms of witnessing and how interesting the concept of witnessing is. And Jesus is talking about, like, well, who's witness to what? And it begs this question, like, what are we witnessing to? Like, what are we really looking at? And here's the thing to think about that I love. That what we're really looking to when we're talking about this concept of witnessing is looking at the fact that God is in everyone. Starting to really see that. Like, that's where a real powerful witness can start to take place. We start looking and we start seeing God all over the place. And that's the whole, I think, cornerstone of so much of the spiritual life. So that's what we're looking at here today, and then I'm going to share with you a funny little reflection that I heard yesterday. So let's go ahead and pull that up. So what we're looking at here is a part from John chapter 8. The Pharisees challenged him. Here you are appearing as your own witness. Your testimony is not valid. So they're saying essentially you need two witnesses. You're testifying to yourself. That doesn't make any sense. This is where Jesus answered, even if I testify on my own behalf, my testimony is valid, for I know where I came from and where I'm going. You have no idea where I came from or where I'm going. You judge by human standards. I judge on no one. I pass judgment on no one. That's a key line there. I pass judgment on no one. And then he has a slightly different view of judging here in this next sentence. But if I judge, my decisions are right because I'm not alone. I stand with the Father who sent me. In your own law is written, the testimony of two men is valid. I am one who testifies for myself. My other witness is the Father, in other words, God, who sent me. Now, the beauty of that line there, folks, the real power of that line is the idea with this witnessing that as we work towards that kind of witness that he's talking about, that there comes a time where we sort of have the law and we have our conscience. We have those oftentimes very necessary kind of rules and regulations. And then we have our inner conscience. And the Pharisees were really focused on the law kind of side of things. And here's Jesus far more focused on the conscience side of things. That idea of, like, hey, I'm a witness to myself. I'm a majority of one might be one way to say it. That part is critically important. And it's important for us just to think about how that really works in our lives. Like, how does that work? How does it go? How does it move forward? And here's just one basic way I think we can start to hold it. So it's interesting, right, with New Church theology that Emanuel Swedenborg talks a lot about this idea of rules and this idea of 10 Commandments and this idea of what's the law. And then he also says, as Christians, that we need to actually get to a point where we move beyond it. Well, what does that mean? Well, I think it means it like this. If you're a musician of any sort, you learn by practicing the scales over and over and over again. And it's very rote, it's very prescribed. That's an idea of law. We need to have that. And the whole point of the law is to get to the point where we can improvise, to get to the point where we bear witness to something very different and we're just able to play. That's the point of spirituality, is to get you to that point where you actually play. Yesterday was a pretty funny one, made me laugh, still making me laugh this morning. I was reading through this great thread, and it's about a theologian I really enjoy by the name of Richard Rohr. And this person put this thread on. They said, well, I read this book and I've been trained in religious theology, went to seminary, da 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 da. And these are all the things that were wrong in his argument in terms of from a traditional Christian perspective. And then he had this next line, and he essentially said, I don't know whether I care anymore that he writes something different than what the tradition might hold as true. And I think that's where we really want to get. It's not about like rejecting all that. It's just about understanding that we want to get to these higher truths, and we can't get mired in just staying in one place where we're just always playing the scales over and over and over again. That's not what Jesus wants for our life. He wants us to, yes, learn that stuff, and yes, make use of that stuff, but then to have lives that bear witness to something far greater, because that is the only way we'll start to see God everywhere. We will not see God everywhere just simply staying just within rules. We will start to see God everywhere as we start to move to that place where our spiritual life commutes from here down to here, from our head down to our heart. So that's my thought, folks, for you today. And hopefully that all makes sense. And hopefully the stream is going out there smoothly. And so what we're going to do right now is I'm going to do a little guided meditation. We do a little line of scripture here for those of you joining us the first time. We do a little line of scripture. After the line of scripture, what we do after the line of scripture is we do a little prayer, the Our Father prayer. Then we close with a blessing, and then I'll close saying hi to people again. You can leave a chat. I'll just pull it up on my Facebook page on my phone here. So with that, friends, let's all get a big breath. Be still and know that I'm God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and bring you peace and bring you home. Amen. All right, dear friends. So let's see if I can do the fancy thing here of figuring out how to do the comments here. And let's see, just turn off the volume there. All right, I think I got it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Betty, good morning to you, my friend. Linda, good morning. Oh, beach day. You know what? It is a beautiful beach day. I'm trying to like have that beach like view, and I'm looking out here, guys working on trees. It's hard to do two things at the same time. Patty, good morning from Key West. I am so excited to have you joining us from down there. I loved Key West. I got to do a wedding down there. Someone actually who watches on here occasion. I got to do a wedding down there in February of all months, which was beautiful. Marcus, purposeful presence. That's it, right? And it's that unanxious. And when people can see God everywhere, we really do have that sense of purposeful presence. Linda, smooth as silk. Oh, I am so glad. Mary, good morning to you. Tori, good morning to you. By the way, Tori, we had a beautiful wedding up on Hawk Mountain last Monday, which was super fun. Lindy, my friend, so good to see you joining us. I don't know whether you're joining us from here or Florida, but regardless, hopefully, life is really good. Patricia, great to see you joining us this morning. Paige, great to have you joining us as well. Jenny, no problem. It certainly is an absolute joy to be on here with you folks this morning. All right, dear friends. Well, thank you for letting us experiment here. Sounds like it worked. And again, we're just trying to expand our audience. It's a very, very different world, especially for a guy from rural Western Pennsylvania. These tools are also new and different, and we're trying to expand the use of these tools so we're able to serve more people more effectively. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for being part of this group. Wishing you all the best. God bless. Bye-bye.